G'day guys, what's cracking? Chawsy here again. So today we're going to cook a leg of lamb roast in the air fryer, and we're going to do it in an oven bag. I tell you, this is such a great way to cook because for the main reason, when you cook this in a bag, it turns out nice and tender, cooked all the way through if you get it right, and also no mess as long as you don't break that bag. We're going to get a bag ready in a sec. We're going to chuck in some onion, which I've already cut up, a few cloves of garlic and some rosemary. I'm going to cook this at 160 Celsius, which I think is around about 320 Fahrenheit, so don't quote me on that, just check it out if you need to. And we're going to cook it for an hour and a half. Now this air fryer only goes for 1 hour, of course, 60 minutes, so once it's done 60 minutes we're going to give it another 30. So guys, hour and a half to cook this thing. So let's get this party started and get this thing in the bag and cook it up. So first of all, let's grab out an oven bag, because that's what this is all about. We're going to use an oven bag. Little ties in there, elastic bands, all sorts of things. I need one of these ties, zip ties, whatever you call them. Elastic bands in there, might as well grab one of them too. Now, just so you know too, after I do this lamb, after it's all cooked, I do have plans for this. I'm actually going to make a lamb snack pack. That's going to be the next part of this. But for this one, it's our lamb leg in a bag, in the air fryer. Okay, that's our leg of lamb, good to go. The word on the street is that it's a good idea for at least a tablespoon of plain flour, which is what I'm about to do, into your bag. Now this is something I've known about for years, but I haven't known why. The reason is supposed to be so that, if I searched it, take it up a bit, get it all through the bag. It's supposed to be so that it helps the meat to brown. Let's chuck our lamb in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of spray oil in there to give it a bit of a coating. Some rosemary, just whack it all in. So we got a few cloves of garlic there. Chuck them in. Just chuck them anywhere. And one onion. Now I'm just putting all that in to try and give it a bit of flavour. Hopefully it'll work. Now, time to seal it all up. We'll put that tie on it. Tie that up. And for extra security, we definitely don't want this coming undone. We'll whack the elastic band on there. Now if you plan on doing this, or if you haven't done it before, don't make this critical mistake. You must put a few holes in it. Otherwise, it could explode on you. Just to let some of the air out. Okay, good to go. Now, what I am going to do too is put a bit of a coating in the air fryer so that the bag doesn't stick. Just a precaution. I don't know if it actually would stick, but just a precaution. So we'll just get the air fryer base. Bit of oil. So that's everything in the bag, ready to go. Time to whack it in the air fryer for 160 degrees for 1.5 hours. and away we go. So we've done 1 hour, and I'm not going to lie, it actually does look like it's cooked. It's looking good. I won't dip it too much because we don't want all those juices coming out of those holes in the top. But it's looking good. Looks like it's cooked, but we're going to give it another half an hour because it's probably not cooked on the inside. So another 30 minutes at 160. Now guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so now, because what we're going to do after this is, once we try it out, see what the meat's like, should be totally Eatwa, but stage 2 is making a snack pack, but that's going to be a separate video. We're going to do a lamb snack pack in the air fryer, so stay tuned for that. But if you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, you will know when we post that as well. So let's give this another half an hour and crack on. Okay, half an hour. Let's go. So this is it, hour and a half at 160. There it is, all done. Now I reckon I'm going to leave that over on the sink for about 10 or 15 minutes just to let it cool down a bit so I can get it out, because the hardest part about this is going to be getting it out of the air fryer or out of that basket. Put it on there, it'll cool down a little bit. Now hardest part's going to be getting that out of the basket and not spilling any of the contents, all the juices. So, and that's why I like this method, because if you're careful enough you can get away with it. No mess. So let's get this guy out of the way and see if we can get this out of the basket. Try it with the tongs. Like I said, you've got to be very careful, because the reason for doing this in a bag is less mess. Can we do it? I reckon we can. Okay, done. Let's open the bag up very carefully. Get rid of this. The old trusty knife. So if you're wondering why all of a sudden I have sleeves on, I've got a top on because even though it's summer, I'm doing this late at night, and it's actually turned very cool, or a bit cool anyway. It's fantastic. Now I'll need a plate, won't I? So let's get this guy out of the bag and hope we don't spill anything. I reckon we're doing alright so far. Nearly lost it. Ah, there we go. Look at that. All the juices are in the bag. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. So the air fryer is nice and clean now. You'll love to see it. All the juices are in the bag. And that's all the mess that you would have had in the tray if you didn't use a bag or in the air fryer. So let's get rid of this. Put it over on the sink to cool down. Look at that. Beautiful. Actually, I'll put it in the sink. Get rid of it. There it is. Your beautiful roast. Your beautiful leg of lamb. Hour and a half at 160 Celsius. Now for the good part. Let's try it out. Look at that, nicely done. Now it should be that way all the way through. I'm just going to try that little piece. The inside will be perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. Nicely cooked. So I can taste a little bit of the onion and rosemary and all that in there. Come out really good. I'll tell you what guys though, if you've made a leg of lamb before, this is the best part. This is the part you want. Look at that. Totally eats well. That's the best bit. So that's our leg of lamb all done. So guys, if you like the video, don't forget about giving it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And stay tuned for part 2 because I don't even have to clean the air fryer now. I'll actually show you. It's just only got the oil that I sprayed in there. Nothing else in there. Look, I can tip that. Nothing's coming out. All good. So we're heading on now. I'm going to make myself some dinner. I'm going to make a lamb snack pack. Stay tuned for that. Hooroo. Stay fresh.